Well, last week, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Chad Wolf visited Portland to talk about the nightly protests. And one of the people who met with him was the Police Association President Daryl Turner.
Turner, who's been outspoken in recent days, demanding the city's elected leaders condemn the violence, looting, and destruction we're seeing. Again, made that same demand this weekend during a virtual conference. He joins us live this morning, the president of the Portland Police Association. Daryl, so good to be with you.
Good morning.
We appreciate you chatting with us here. We wanted to first just ask you about your visit with Secretary Wolf. How did it go, and what did you two discuss?
Well, it was mostly informational. What I wanted to express, besides the fact that we're having these nightly protests, was the fact that hopefully the federal government will be working in conjunction with the Portland Police Bureau to figure out a way to curb the rioting, but at the same time make sure they protect the First Amendment rights of the peaceful demonstrators.
Okay, and a lot of leaders didn't want to meet with him. In fact, I know Multnomah County Sheriff Mike Reese said that he thought Mr. Wolf was just politicizing this. Why was this a meeting that you thought was important to have?
Because of the nightly protests and because of all the rioting, I felt like it was important to find out what the game plan was for the federal government. I think it was important to express that they needed to work with and in conjunction with local law enforcement to be able to not only curb the rioting, but also to protect, like I said, the peaceful demonstrators out there that are exercising their First Amendment rights.
So you talk about working with Portland police here, but Mayor Wheeler has said that by federal agents coming in and having this more heavy-handed response, he believes that it's really escalating that. And wouldn't that in effect then be putting Portland police in more danger? How do you work with federal agents at this point if that's going to be seen as an escalation?
And I don't know. Over recent years, we've lost our ability to work with other local police agencies in the metro area due to the political issues that we've had. And so it just seemed only right to make sure that we could try to at least make a bridge with the federal government. Obviously, that's not going to be possible.
Well, you did attend a meeting this weekend with other leaders in the Portland community. So what was discussed and how did that meeting go?
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to express our issues with the violence, the rioting, that we wanted to have sit downs with organizations that want to come and sit down and talk about reform, talk about how we stop the violent rioting, and figure out what we need to do to move forward in the city of Portland. Our elected officials don't seem to have that capacity, so it's going to be on the community leaders, it's going to be on the faith community, it's going to be on the business community as well as the law enforcement community to sit down, figure out these solutions, and put them forward to our elected officials.
The other person right now who's saying that our local elected officials have let this get out of control is, of course, President Donald Trump. He's made several comments over the weekend criticizing the response in Portland and saying that federal agents are here to help, not hurt. I'm curious, what's your response to the comments the president has made this weekend?
Well, those are part and parcel different from what we're talking about here in the city of Portland. We are people who have worked here, lived here for years and years and years, and have seen the rioting and seen what impact it's had on the community. And so we want to be able to bridge that gap and work in a way that's responsible, that's compassionate, to be able to end the violence, but still get an important message that needs to be heard, that has to be heard, that will transcend the history of America forever if we can continue to make it heard. But we don't want the violence, we don't want the rioting, and we want to be able to have local law enforcement lead the way.
Yeah, and I think most people don't want the violence, especially in those overnight protests. But again, we were just looking at that video of the federal officers hitting that Navy veteran who was just standing there with a baton and dousing him with pepper spray. I mean, what are the next steps? Where do we go from here? How does this get resolved?
Well, I would hope that like I said, our elected officials would step up, but also the people who are out there peacefully protesting and demonstrating, let us all come to the table and condemn the rioting and then figure out a way to curb that rioting as well as the federal response.
Okay, well, Daryl, we appreciate you speaking with us this morning. And of course, I'm sure we'll be checking back in with you in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you so much for your time.